Welcome to Prophetic News episode 10. I'm your host, Markus Fehr Neutzer, and here is the wonderful Judith Miller. Hi, Jude.
Hi, Markus. How are you?
I'm fine. Jude, one question. How does it feel like to have 85% all of the time things coming true?
It is very good, I have to admit. It's good in the sense that Spirit are so good in bringing us those messages and those revelations forward. Sadly, some of what's happening, it's not good, and it's quite sad, actually, to be honest. I last week could see stuff that was happening around the world, and it saddened me. It made me feel quite sad, but Spirit gave us a bit of a break to let us take in everything that's coming forward. And I'm really glad. I've had some amazing feedback for our show, Markus, for yourself and myself, and the show and the contents that we're putting out. So I know a lot of people are really grateful to have that heads up and have that interaction with Spirit. So it's nice to hear that. So
you know, some people, they mention every time bad news, but they don't understand that we are the people who are doing those things around the globe. It is not that someone tells us to do it. It comes from our inner self.
Yeah.
And so it is reflected outside. So what's going on is this what reflects what we are. And people should see it from this way and not criticizing when people like you and me reaching out to the people and say, be aware, this is coming up.
Yeah.
Think what you do.
Yeah.
What you can do to avoid situations like that in the future. But some people, they don't get it.
I understand some people. They look at some of the messages and they think, gosh, that's quite cryptic. But they're actually not, Markus. You know, they're actually not. When you take the time to really digest Spirit's messages and revelations, they are showing what is going to happen. Not that it's something that they're planning or anything like that. As you say, they come to us in a positive light, to try and guide us and to try and help us going forward. It's that whole saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. At the same time, Spirit are showing and guiding us. And yes, some of the revelations and the predictions, most of them all have come true so far. Still some to come true. But it's to also help us understand when we feel what we see going on around the world, feel into it. We know it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. It's not right. But that comes in Spirit's message today, actually. I know we were chatting before we come on, and actually what you were talking about actually also comes into Spirit's messages today. So it's quite interesting. That's two in a row you've been doing. You've been on me before I get mine. So will I make a start?
We do. Go ahead.
Okay. So as Markus says, if you're new to the channel or you're new to the episodes, try and look at them from a point of positivity, not from a point of negative or fear, because Spirit is very much trying to guide us to go forward as to what's right. So they talk about disease. Disease is coming. Control and fear. Man-made sickness created. Okay, and I do feel that is probably with the monkeypox. That's me just putting my end to it. Spirit are very much saying sickness is man-made, and it's created to control and fear. September, armed guards, nations watch. Chinese revelations. Princess Anne, health concerns. We've touched on the royal family before, and we mentioned about Princess Anne before, and that prediction actually came true. But I feel that there's more to do with health, not as an accident, but more with health. London Bridge terrorist attack. We've been getting that quite consecutively throughout our episodes, so it's still to come. Hence why Spirit is bringing it forward again. Now, what they have said is, they've said to me, chemical attack, skin. Okay. October changes. The changes that are coming can't be stopped. Countries at war, NATO forces on the ground. NATO starts the war. The world plunged into darkness. Power grids affected. The Netherlands, very relevant, much is coming. Swords at dawn. Now, I know that was in one of either 9 or 8, episode 8 or 9. And there was actually attacks with swords in the street. It was crazy. But I feel that there's more to come with that. So I'm not sure if there's more of a metaphor with that, but it's coming back up again. So I'm passing it again. October armed forces. Now this one's interesting. The game of chess has begun, and so shall they fall. And I also got given the word Lancelot, and I feel Lancelot is a code name. I want to say a code name with Lancelot. Armbands mourning nations. And I think this is the UK, but they didn't stipulate. More banks closing. Now, largest fraud case in history. Black Lives Matter. August, only the beginning, much to come, the second half of 2024. High alert, building pressure cooker. August, not finished yet. September, Holy Grail, we tell you, Holy Grail. It's really interesting, actually, if you take in the Holy Grail, and we're not just talking about chalice of cup. For anybody who would like to research the Holy Grail,
no one knows really what it was, what they are looking for.
Yeah.
The Templar, they were looking for it, and some people believe it is Maria Magdalena. Other people think it was something very different. It is not a cup. What do you think could it be?
I don't believe they're talking about the Holy Grail as in a chalice. They've just said no. What I do believe is, I've written down west and east. And I feel it's quite fitting with the other messages the Spirit has passed already. September, Holy Grail. They said August wasn't going to be good. The beginning of August was pretty crazy. For the first week. Now they're talking about going into the end of August and going into September. And I feel it's more to do with what's happening in our world right now. And I think it will make sense when we'll go through the rest and then we can chat, because I think it ties in when I think of everything else is to come. So high alert, landmarks where gatherings are. Okay, 29th of August, relevant to your world. They haven't stipulated anything else apart from that date so far, but it'll be worldwide. So now this is a bit of a big message. They've gave 3 messages. Stop being the lambs to what your inner. Stop being the lambs. Listen to what your inner thoughts and feelings are telling you. Your world is trying to create the outcome through the fear and control. This cannot be done. The mass awakening has prevented this. Trust what you experience, not what you are told. Your world is built up of stories, not by experience. Snake bite is painful. Holding on to what makes us feel comfortable is hard to release. That is what causes the pain, not the bite. Many have been bitten, releasing those toxins and fears, allowing transformation, bringing clarity. Like the wolf supports his pack, so too does the army of light bearers, awakening those spirits within that were in slumber are now supported by the light. I find that very interesting because when you research the spiritual meaning of a snake bite, it's about release, letting go, shedding the layer, shedding the skin, and very much that's what's happening around our world with the mass awakening. A lot more people are seeing the clarity, and you were just chatting about that before we come on. So broadcast to the world the hidden truths, share them far and wide. Ministry of Defence, keeping lots from the public, which affects your whole world. Radicalised Britain is where it must begin, then radiate outwards. Britain is hiding the truth. We leave you with truths are unfolding, secrets are being revealed, whistleblower is coming soon.
Highly interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me think all what we heard about what people said, what is the truth, and the government were laughing about it and say, this is all stupid what people are saying. It is not really the truth, but it came out to be right. And I don't point here to something specific. I speak in general. They lied to us in every single country. All the elite were lying to us, using us only for their own advantage. And it has to change, definitely. We are not slaves.
No, but we have been.
We have
been. Absolutely. And when they talk about, the pain doesn't come from the bite of the snake, it comes from what we have to release. Sometimes we hold on to even what we fear because we know it most to what we don't know what's ahead. So sometimes we will hold on to what causes us distress and sadness and fear because we know it well, rather than trusting to let go and move forward. But with Spirit talking about, the mass awakening and, people have been bitten, what they're talking about is as they shed their skins and as they let go of the fear and their comfort zones and go into the unknown of, what really is existence, that's when the clarity comes. And as we were chatting just before we come on, and we were talking about, we have to live through the experience, not through the story. And sadly, a lot of what it goes on in our world is from somebody else. It's to do with the story. It's about history. And we're all too quick to just take that on board and go, okay. Rather than stop to think, well, actually, how do I feel about that? Because if we really paid attention to how we felt, we would notice, do we feel uncomfortable? Do we feel saddened? You know, what do we feel? And that's what's really guiding us. We should be trusting what we feel.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. More to come anyway. They're making that clear. There's more to come. But they've been clear with that from the beginning, really, haven't they, Markus?
Yeah. Key point was here, 29th of August. People be aware of this date, especially what's going on.
They gave a couple. They said about, the 29th of August, second half of 2024. They talk about September, the Holy Grail. And it's the way they said it. August not finished yet, so we know that's them bringing in the end of August. September, Holy Grail. We tell you, Holy Grail. And then they talk about October. They've also twice now in this episode, they've brought in October. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's interesting. And I have no doubt everything that they have told us and tried to prepare us for will very much come true. The chess game, I have to say, I love playing chess, but I'm not one of these people who knows all the different moves, and I play it for enjoyment, not for skill. And it's, the game of chess has begun, and so shall they fall.
Yeah, I think it is leading us to this idea that all is already done here by the elites, and it is like a gameplay that what they show us, but it is already, the result is already adjusted between the elites, and we get it like a movie, that we see it, but we feel it on our own body, and we are used to play the game.
It is, and October is bringing changes that can't be stopped. So as you say, the game has already started. But also, if we take ourselves back to before COVID, and a lot of what's been happening, and a lot of people, how they feel and their views, it's very different to them. We were quite naive before COVID. We were quite naive. We were in that comfortable zone, as you say, that comfortable zone where we were holding on to everything that made us comfortable. Whereas since COVID, really a lot of things, that's changed a lot of things. It's caused anger with people, it's caused sadness with people, but it's also gave people time. That locking people down, they thought was what they were doing to control, but actually gave the people the time they needed to take a stock of what's happening around them, and to start thinking this isn't right.
Yeah.
Start seeing things clearly.
I think people, they had a lot of trust.
Yeah.
But trust has to be built up on something. What we get back, because we have trust in someone or in something. But did we get it back?
No.
In the past? Not in the future. There have to be a change. Really a change.
Yeah.
Is there something else what you would like to mention, Jude?
The only thing I would like to say is, going forward, we are all wakening up. We're all seeing things in a different light. So remember, control and fear are actions, and we have the strength. We have the strength and the knowledge to know that we can only be controlled by fear if we accept that. And the clarity and the truth is there. And trust, the Spirit said, trust that internal sat-nav.
Yeah, we should trust the process. The
Yeah.
outcome will be positive for us.
Yeah.
Okay, well, dear audience, you listened to this what the spirit world told us. I hope you can take out something from these messages and say goodbye, be nice, be good, be safe. Until the next time, take care. Bye.
Bye.